Hi guys, hello, Mary me to everybody. It's MicheleMarieDalene and let me finish and today we're just gonna chat with you for a little bit because there's not much to do today. I changed my topic because the animal was full of cat hair and spills, and so I did realize I needed to clean. This type is much better as far as the cat hair goes. I'm washing some of my clothes right now. Nothing heavy, just washing them in a bucket like I do sometimes. And, hi guys, and you can see that we are live here, so, this camera's a little crooked. Always is, I know, but we can get better than that. We can get better than this. I better. You look small. That's, yeah, a little better. Okay. Anyway, so, as you may know, the late night broadcast, I was a little bit bummed out, about something that was said to me, a couple things. And I wanted to, clarify a few things. I talked to Southern Joy. She's not upset at me or anything like that. Unlike what was originally alleged. In fact, she just told me that she's still trying to find a parental support group for people with autism spectrum children. And that's what I wanted to let you know about that, is that. So I told her, and I said, I recommend that you go and check out autismspeaks.org, only because there may be a good start for information about people with autism. I think originally it was Ruben that gave me that website, and then of course I decided to share it on to the next person that could use the information for her own research into as being a parent with child with autism. And so I said to myself, it makes as much sense as anything to share that link, because people would be able to, watch this. I'm also going to go ahead and, speaking of share links, I got to get this video link shared out to the different sites that are going to be watching this right now. So let me send out my shares to all the major vlog sites, and then we'll take it from there. Right now it is about 33 degrees outside. It's not quite as bad as it could have been. Of course, I've lost a lot of weight since the past, so I think that may have helped too. Then I'm not so large anymore. Because when it gets really, really hot, and if you're really morbidly obese, it just gets so much harder to work in hot weather and do things. And it almost compounds the problem, because they may say get out and play for an hour a day, but the truth is that if you're morbidly obese, getting out and playing at all is almost hard to impossible. So this year I've been making a lot of efforts to be more active, as best as I can, considering I still have problems with my left leg. I still have that issue, and that does make it hard. But at least I could say that I'm doing, being fairly active. Maybe not much more than some people would be, but hey, it's a start. Unfortunately, I have not yet figured out how to best share this link with people on Discord, for live streaming Discord, because it's going to be very hard to do that. So I'm just putting out the link onto the Discord page so the people on Discord can watch this. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the audio connected in tonight. I would like to. Honestly, I would like to. Maybe you can do it through this thing. Yeah, let's try that. Let's try a dry run on that. I'm gonna connect in the Discord server, right now, and see if if I can still hold a conversation with Discord. But that means, of course, is that I don't know how I'm going to be able to watch the chat. No, chat plays fine without even you watching it. You just won't be able to play any sound. Right. If you play sound, it's going to screw it up, because the sound is what caused Discord to disconnect from the system. It's not the video. Oh! What effect is that? Oh, I've seen that one. Yeah. Keyboard effect. Oh, that is so weird. Every now and then the Android phones always throw me a curveball. So, like I do normally, we're going to just watch the live chat on this, and I'll turn the speaker so I can hear the Discord people try to talk to me, because otherwise I would never hear you guys. So let's make sure that we have sound so that we can see if the Discord people can join us. I don't even know if the microphone's working. I don't. Oh, really? Really? Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. I mean, I don't know if it, no, I'm serious. I don't know if it works or not. Well, okay, so that silences it. Yeah. Does this thing flash when you talk like it does on the desktop? I don't know. But anyway, I'm in the channel now, so let me go back to the other one. I'll have to see how it goes if we finally get some chat comments. So, right now I don't see anybody. But that's not surprising, because this isn't a regular scheduled stream. It just, oh, you know how it is. Yeah. I do. Well, it doesn't say Discord on the top, so I don't think it's actually listening to me. Right now, I don't see anybody. But that says... Yeah. I don't think that's working. Oh, really? Most grievously annoying. So, I do enjoy when we can actually have multiple sessions going, because that's kind of fun. I don't think it's actually listening to me. Right now, I don't see anybody. But that says... So, preamble or not, let me just talk to you anyway. We got some comments on last night's video, the late night, and I wanted to go through some of them. They were not necessarily bad comments. And of course, I also had to go from yesterday afternoon's comments, because they're all... So, let's go through and look through these real quick here. Okay? Last night's are the freshest, obviously. And in the late night talk, I have several comments. I'm just going to point out a few, then you can check them out yourself. The first one says, from Out on the Wire, I told you that the video was one of your best, and that was from Out on the Wire, and I said to him, yes it was. I think Sherry Prank got me the most upset. But I don't do it just for a title. And then, of course, I don't know where it says, MicheleMarieDalene, fair enough. It's just that you haven't shown anything of actually do. You got to understand that nobody's going to believe anything. See, I screwed up when I did it. And no one's going to believe anything when you can't prove. You don't mean, I didn't mean to upset you, it's just reality. I said to him, I said, it's hard to show much when it is not your season. I can try this winter to show how I do my work. It's mostly through mental workings. And he said, MicheleMarieDalene said that would make a good video, and I think it would too. But, and then he was talking about, what's it, is this the right video? It's the right, no, it's not, it's another link. And he says, you have been mentioning how hot it will be for a week now. We get over it's summertime. And I pointed out, and I said to him, I said, that's why I hate summer. I like late fall, early spring, and love winter. I love the cold and snow, and that is the truth. That's what I love to go for. By the way, right now, in the Arctic Circle, there's so much ice in the Arctic and Antarctic Circle that they actually had to call icebreakers just to deliver liquefied natural gas tankers from Russia, because the ports are frozen over with ice all the way to the Baltic Sea. Is the Baltic Sea? I think it's the Baltic Sea. Now, the whole point is everything from St. Petersburg and Russia as like, so there's absolutely being a issue of that. Let's see what's the next one. He says, whatever happened to that guy from Canada who gave you $200 Canadian? Cringe Report should track him down and get his side of the story. And I said, I would love to know too. It was years ago. He was a subscriber of this channel. His name was Jonathan Ung. For some reason the phone changed it to Jonathan Sung. So I actually had to give it a little correction on the spelling and the name. So yeah, I actually kind of wanted the same thing. Whatever happened to these people that made these donations to the channel? I think that would be a great question, because I haven't heard from them since. But that's the reason why I say, oh, come on, don't give me dislikes already. It's not fair. You know, I'm trying to, do a good job here. So anyway, yeah. Whatever happened to Jonathan Ung? I have no idea. I know, that was around 2013, 2014, and that was, the money, was used to help pay for the operating equipment for the studio. It had beer. I mean that, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, guys. Ed had his own money. He gave me his credit card to use when he wanted me to go pick up his beer for him. So I never used any donations to buy beer. First of all, I don't drink. I go to McDonald's. But I don't think that's a sin. At the time, we did not separate the studio money from personal money. Now we do that now. The money is separated. Also, as pointed out, I think it was Out on the Wire who pointed it out, as far as Sherry's prank goes, they said the federal government of the United States has got bigger fish to fry. I'm just paraphrasing him now, because I don't want to go digging back, look for messages. And I wouldn't particularly really worry about it, because you can make up to so many dollars a month, and that's true. I can make about I think it's in like $900 a month before I have to pay taxes and worry about my disability income. Right now we're receiving $800. Trust me. I don't even usually receive more than maybe $2. So it's not like was really making a lot of money at all. I don't think the United States Department of Agriculture is going to go and start a federal case over a person who only gets $124 a month in food stamps. However, I will point out that the Department of Justice has indicted several medical doctors in pharmacies and companies for the issue of the over-medication of people and medical. They made, let's see, what was it made? Like two or three. Oh, I'm gonna make sure I get this number right now. Something like $2 billion. This was reported in both Fox News and on Infowars.com. I was actually surprised to see that. How much actually, to see that Jeff Sessions finally is doing his job as the Attorney General on something that really is a sore point of the over-medication of people by pushing a big pharma on people's lives. I'm really glad he did do something right, but is it really going to be enough to save him from basically seeing the pink slip? I'll tell you something, I don't know. But here's why I say that. Jeff Sessions is still trying to argue that legalization of cannabis is a bad thing. However, Congress is beginning to react to that and is considering legislation that will protect those states that already have a legal, recreational, and medical marijuana system in place, and then have, because of the 13th Amendment of the Constitution, which says that the states have the right to rule their own events. It also, of course, still allows them to prosecute across state lines. That's what the federal government is supposed to do. They're supposed to prosecute things between interstate issues, not intra-state issues, which means within the state. So, if, for example, Connecticut, which does have legalized recreational marijuana, and there's also going to be consideration for the legalization of recreational marijuana as well, that those states that have put their own system in place should be protected. I agree with that. It would be a great thing because the state of Connecticut is already facing the fact that the state of Massachusetts, New Hampshire, also is got bill in the books to do the same thing. I think Vermont too. I know Maine does also. So there's really, they don't want to lose on the cash cow. Let's be honest. That's tax money. Instead of spending tax money to incarcerate and punish and throw people in prison, when which that point that's losing money. So the states, especially Connecticut, can't afford to lose any more money. So if it since marijuana is a hot topic, why not just go with it? We've got the legislation, we got the regulations, we have the people to do it. Let's make it a bona fide, legitimate business and actually make some. I agree that would be the best way to go. Well, I do admit that some of my predecessors, or some of the others on my channel, my other contemporaries, are probably saying this, marijuana is bad. I never saw, from all the times I've been around secondhand marijuana smoke, it's never been bad for my eyesight. Trust me, it's always helped me calm down a little bit. It's always helped me just from breathing the fumes. It helped my eyes hurt less. My vision seemed a little more stable. That is the reason I don't have anything against adults using recreational marijuana. And also for medical uses, by removing it from a Schedule 4 or Schedule 1 to maybe changing it to a Schedule 3 or maybe even a Schedule 4, or even 2 for that matter, there will be ways that they can actually research marijuana and get federal funding to do research into it. Right now, anybody who wants to research marijuana has to basically go through a lot of private research funding. Even if they're in a state where it's legal, like Colorado, they have to go through a lot of independent research that makes it hard. Also, by changing marijuana from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 2, 3, or 4, that means that the RICO laws will no longer apply. So that means that marijuana dispensaries can legally open a checking account, savings account for the business operations, for payroll and things like that. That's a really big point. That's not just a little, oh, well, gee, it's just a big, now might it be issue. No, it is a big issue. All those you give me 8 thumbs down. Have you ever considered one thing? I'm trying to tell you something, people. You know, you may not like what I've got to say, but I do have the right to say it. Remember, on the desktop, I can't see your thumbs down, but on the cell phone, I can. So I see the thumbs down. And I just like, since I'm in chat here with you, in fact, let me get to the chats right now. If there's any, I would like to see you join me in chat. I'd like to know what's your reasoning. This is the time we can talk about this. Why are you thumbing down a video that is not a bad video? I really would like to know it. I've got the chat open right now. We can look at the chat. We can talk about it. I do know that there's some people that are, please don't be. I'm just trying to kind of do a combination of vlog and a live stream in the same video. And we've got to turn on the backup gas tank on my phone. There we go. So it's just really interesting to see how all this is playing out with the research and the stuff like that. So, I guess there really isn't a lot more to discuss unless you guys would like to come up with some topics. I do have no reason we couldn't do a live stream right now. If you have any questions, you can bring them up in the chat section. The chat is open now. I think it'd be more productive than someone giving thumbs down. I mean, let's talk about things. You know, I know this is not the Sunday live stream. That's going to be tomorrow. I'm thinking, because I was hoping to get people on Discord, and I don't think it's working doing it through the Android phone. I might just have to just do it in the studio anyway. Because the Discord has actually been a very positive thing. Working? I don't know. No. Let me go back and check. I mean, will it hurt? Yes, I understand you do. In fact, let me see if I can try to get some of you guys on the server. Alright, so I'll just send a message out. Oh. How do you type and chat at the same time on this thing? You're asking me? I'm asking you. I don't get how you do that. Oh, okay. 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 Let's try voice chat on Discord. So, I have my sound up all the way, and so that should help. And I can see me. So, yeah, but can you hear them? I don't know that. Unless someone joins. So I will try to prop this folder up because the speaker is on the bottom so that we can actually hear the sound. Okay? So right now I'm on Discord. At least I can see my microphone is picking up sound. I don't know about the speech from people, but I know my microphone indeed is picking up sound. So that's, you know, Taco Man says, don't forget that I support 100%, and I thank you for that. I do know that a lot of people tend to forget that what I do is very special to me. Being out there So why don't you page him and see if he'll join you? So I'll do that. Yeah. At TAC join me in chat. Me in voice chat on Discord. Okay. So we're going to see if we can try this. Because when you're out in the field, it's not like I'm going to be lugging a big fancy audio gear and studio out here. Which brings up a related question. Would it be easier and better to consider buying a large laptop instead of a desktop? Well, let me just say this. If you want to get a desktop Mac, it has a bigger screen. I could place the screen close to my eyes and I can actually read the comments and chats. A laptop, I'm crunched down like a big slitter C to see it. And I'm typing. You can't visualize this, can you? Okay, here's the tabletop. This finger here is wiggling. I know that's the cuss finger, sorry, but okay, we use this example. That's your eyeballs. Me, it's like I have to look at it like this. And my back hurts really bad after a while doing that on a laptop. So, what I like to do is I like to put the screen higher up so that I can see it better. Now, laptops do have the option of using an external keyboard, but they only have so many USB ports. And because there's only so many USB ports, if you want to plug in the keyboard, the mixer, a USB webcam, I know they can say this, but they have one built into the computer. Most of them do today. That's true. However, if you are using a laptop, what's not going to help when all you see is my forehead. I'm sorry, it's true, because I'm so close to the screen that a built-in webcam is absolutely, basically, a colossal, useless. Even on my iMac, the built-in webcam works fine, but unfortunately, all you see is my forehead. So that's why we have another camera on the side. It's because that way I can still see the chat. I can still be part of the chat. And so now we got Ted Logan says, Macs suck. You need a PC. I don't think so. I haven't looked on the market for a PC that does what I do. I've tried out compiling open broadcaster software. I try to understand how to use the program. I can't understand it. Of course, it's not compatible with my Mac driver. Unless I want to get a natively compiled Mac version because my video card's too old and my Intel Core 2 Dual Mac. You wouldn't need your dated Intellect mixer setup if you had a PC with a decent sound card. Actually, most modern laptops now don't even have a microphone input for a decent sound card. That's true. Everything now is either Bluetooth or USB based. And there are adapters for that. So I think if I was to get a laptop, I would agree with what Louis Westman said about the latest Apple Mac Pros are clearly of substandard quality because Apple, in order to make themselves so innovative and cramped everything into such a small case, including the design of a crappy butterfly keyboard switch. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. Heads up, people, if you got a Mac Pro, I think it starts in 2017. Apple redesigned the keyboard in a way that basically made the key switches absolutely positively atrocious. They have a mechanism that is extremely poorly made. Unfortunately, to make it even worse, was Apple had the nerve to actually rivet, that's right, rivet the keyboard into the computer case. Now, until recently, Apple kept saying it was the user's fault, the users have to pay for it, yada, 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 replace it. Well, I fixed it, just pointed out, and said a little expressment, but I fixed it, went into more detail with this, that the problem is the replacement keyboards for the Mac Pro is the same keyboards that they're replacing. They're just new stock. So they still suffer from dust issues. They still suffer from corrosion issues. They still suffer from the mechanism inside breaking down issues. And it's still riveted to the goddamn case. Now that's pretty sad that you actually riveted your computer keyboard, probably the biggest item in the computer that is going to be in most use, into the case, instead of making it easy for a technician to replace it. iFixit says that the way Apple would design it was you have to replace the whole top part of your computer, even if the rest of the mechanism is fine. This is the reason why I wonder why Apple kind of left the idea of being able for people to repair what is broken, since they say they're so ecologically friendly. Right. But it's not. Because you have to realize is that you're going to be throwing out all that plastic, or you have to go through and make the technician basically scramble to find a pair of nippers to cut those little rivets out, and then replace the cut out rivets with matching screw threads and all this. And then I'm glad that Apple's offering free keyboard replacement. But the only problem is it's the same keyboard model that they're taking out of the computer and putting in a new one for them. It's not a new keyboard. It's not new and improved keyboard. So that's a problem. But at least now they said the Apple will replace your defective Mac keyboard for free. But it still doesn't show that they've actually fixed the problem by redesigning the keyboard so there'll be less dust and dirt affecting the keys. That's sad. That's just an example of a bad thing. It says here you needed analog mixer, let's say, of course. You don't think so. OBS is easy. I mean, it's 100% Apple person. I'm a 100% Apple person, but that's what. Well, it definitely is a better choice if you want to go with a laptop, because even the laptops made by Lenovo or even Dell are better than MacBooks, especially. Because given the Mac Pro butterfly keyboard design is total crap. I absolutely agree with that. And also, soldering the memory to the board was plain stupid in the MacBook Air. Why in the hell would you do that? You don't think people are going to need to consider upgrading the memory? That wasn't the only thing they did. They soldered the SSD to the damn machine. That's right, the SSD. What happens if you want to take your SSD to another Mac when you're upgrading? Guess what? You're SOL. How's that so smart, Apple? What was you thinking? Was it too cheap to buy so they put a socket on the motherboard so they bought that SSD card and put it into another model? Maybe somebody upgraded their Mac and they just want to keep the files from the old SSD. And then maybe later put that into an external SSD to USB or even Thunderbolt adapter so they could actually copy the data from their old SSD to the new SSD. That's why I will not buy a MacBook, besides the fact that I'd have a hard time reading it anyway. Yeah, but even on an extended warranty, it doesn't necessarily really help in some cases. I have a tower. The only problem is that the tower I have is an old dinosaur that used to run my web server. That tower, I got the case. It's a full-size tower. But the motherboard on it is butkus. Seriously, only 1.2 gigahertz, something like that. Almost about the same speed as the the iMac. It's about the same speed, except it's not a Intel Core 2 Duo. It's a Pentium 3. Or it's a Celeron. I don't remember now, but it's definitely it's way out of date. I am Apple fan as well. I got the new Samsung phone. I hate it. Oh, well, compare iPhones to Android phones. This is an Android phone. It's not bad. I do kind of have a hard time getting used to the slightly different way you do things on Android versus iOS 8.3, which is just the newest iOS I have. But it's okay. I got it for free, so I'm not gonna bitch. But I wish, however, when I look at the very newest iOS devices out on the market now, the latest iOS 11.4, and the fact that it's depleting the batteries to the phones, it's like Apple can't seem to get the bugs out of the software. I don't know what Apple's beta testers are doing or not doing, but when it comes to the software part of it, it seems that the latest versions from 7.1 of iOS 7 and later are getting worse and worse and worse and worse. I have 8.3 on this phone. That's what I came with when I got my iPhone 4S. That's okay. It's not perfect, but it's usable. I can go up to the newest from my phone anyway, which is like 9.35, I think it is. I see that they have added all kinds of additional bloat to 9.3.5, which makes me kind of go, no, I don't want to go there. I would rather be able to have, if I could find a firmware for my phone that isn't going to make me basically want to rip the hair out of my head. And let's be honest, if I ever had iOS 11.4 and I switch it was a brand new phone and I turn the phone on and the battery disappears in less than an hour, I think just from sitting on a nightstand, you can bet I would be extremely aggravated, because I'd be like, what is Apple doing to cause the phone to overwork and overheat? And that's the other thing that was going on with the phones too. And with this bug, was they were getting really, really hot. It's almost like they were pushing the processor, but what was the processor doing? I had no clue. I had no idea what the processor was doing, but certainly wasn't doing anything. I was, okay, something about screen replacement. It's, okay. Need a tower. Okay. My computer is on the verge of death. It locks up and takes about 2 minutes every time I switch the tower, press the button. Yeah, and you have a Mac as well, I think, right? That could very well be, like Louis Rawson pointed out, there are sometimes, especially with laptops, the way that they're soldered, sometimes chips fail. And even if you run the included DVD that comes with your computer, it'll probably won't tell you that you need to bring it to an Apple repair shop. Because they said that there's been problems with the system control. What is it called? That's like the BIOS system control manager. Oh, the point is, there's one major chip that's like the BIOS, that if that thing goes screwed up, the whole computer screws up. Also, if there's any bad memory on that computer, and the memory can go bad. You gotta have somebody actually desolder the RAM chips with surface mount rework tools, and then have them replace the bad memory chips with new memory chips. Whereas with a laptop from, say, Dell, or even Lenovo, you can just pop out the bad RAM chip and put a new one in, and just be ready to go. That's something I wonder too. It might be rolling out with your computer on TNCC. It's just that. It's maybe it says here, I bought this computer for $250 brand new. Do you guys think it's worth it? It was great a couple years ago, but ever since I started using OBS, it's gone. It's in the can. Yeah, let me talk about that. I mean, what, for $250 computer, it's not really designed for stream. As an encoding streaming thing, that's what I ran into with my Mac Intel Core 2 Duo. Same problem. I paid, I think originally back when I was in the Yellow House in 2015, I think I paid about secondhand. I paid about $150 for it. And it worked fine for like playing games, like game story plays, like, you know, farm shit and things like that. It worked fine. But when you started to play, do live streaming of video, it just kept basically choking on its own vomit because it couldn't keep up with it. Because the live streams were just taxing it just too much. That's just because the machine is not optimized for streaming video or audio. It's streamed for watching. So when doing video production, it probably would be better to obviously get a computer with a very fast and even a gaming rig. In fact, Linus Tech Tips did discuss that. And he said that for video streaming, you really need a computer, ideally that has like an i5 minimum, let's say about 4 to 8 gigabytes of RAM minimum, and of course a fast Ethernet connection. If you're going to try playing games on the same computer you're streaming on, you really need to go with an i7, because it's just going to be pushing that computer to its knees, especially some of the modern games that are out there. He's talking about PCs now. He's not talking specifically about Macs. I would agree with him from my Mac experience that it's just a surprise that my Intel Core 2 Duo Mac is doing the job it's doing. I'm talking about my home internet, and I have very little RAM in it. I only have 2.5 gigabytes of RAM, and I got about 60 gigabytes free of space. So it constantly swaps to the swap drive. Yeah, go ahead. My neighbor just wants to use one. You can use one in the kitchen too if you want.
All right, thank you.
All right. Yeah, because somebody called for you earlier, and I didn't know where you were, so. All right, so that's what I would say is definitely I need a better computer, and trust me, an i5 would probably be the minimal estate. Let's see. Well, someone else to do it, but I tell you, it's one of the youngsters I work with to help me with it. I'm actually kind of falling behind, guys, so let me just catch up here so I can see where we are. It's a laptop. Yeah, laptops, like I said, they have their own issues. The first one is depending on the laptop, is upgrading it is going to be much more difficult than a full-size desktop, because a full-size desktop from, say, an aftermarket seller to third parties, it sells the add-ons, such as if you buy a generic high-quality PC motherboard, say a full-size ATX motherboard, would say minor specs of 8 gigabytes of RAM, a 3 gigahertz, or so, i7 processor. You can really, of course, a nice high-speed SSD and a good, high-quality Ethernet card. And, of course, whatever operating system you want. Well, I like Mac. So, unfortunately, that means it would have to be a Hackintosh. And that's fine, except that I am actually very much rather not have to worry about trying to find how to make a Hackintosh out of a computer that is not necessarily tailored for macOS High Sierra, which is the newest format, I believe. It's High Sierra. It's better and easier to buy a properly designed Mac that supports the proper software out of the box than to deal with trying to figure out how to make whole drivers that may not necessarily exist for your video card or your sound card, especially if it's a new type card that don't exist on the Mac to work on High Sierra on the Hackintosh. I did research into it. Plus, it seems that the Hackintosh system requires that you have to have a copy of Windows 10 already installed so that you can make the DVDs, if you have the DVDs from Apple, to work on your machine. It's just really a lot of work to make a Hackintosh. Linux is my next best bet for doing AV. And it's been reported many times, besides Open Broadcaster Studio, there really is not a lot of live streaming software that is easy to use out of the box. Linux is definitely more for those who like to twist and turn knobs. It's not something for a person who just wants to basically start the live stream and get it out the door. So again, I think the Mac probably would be best to stay with, at least stay with the iMacs. So let's see, I'm so far behind here. Let's go through this real quick here. So let me just go to the very end here, guys. I'm not trying to be, let's see. Do I just Google how to back up data? Resetting. You also need to back up your data, though. Always, always, always. Absolutely. Backing up data is key. If you have a high-speed internet connection, you could sign up for an off-site storage company to protect your data. But if your internet connection is as slow and pokey as mine is, it'd be better to do an on-site storage, either backing up onto an external hard drive for which, like a FireWire or Thunderbolt or USB hard drive externally, would always be a good start. That way, if the built-in hard drive gets broken, you can go ahead and back a copy of your software. That's always a good idea. On my Mac, I have retrospect on my Power Mac G5, and I can back LT tape drives. So I can actually keep my computers backed up. I ran out of tape money, so right now I'm hoping to get another roommate someday to help defray the operating costs. And that's something that's in the future. Or maybe bring out commission in someday to help defray that cost. You might use an OBS server, but if you're doing everything else, I would go with Windows. It says CC Cleaner is another one tool. Those are PC programs you're talking about there. CC Cleaner, I never heard of that one on my Mac. I got something called Carbon Copy Cloner, which is a backup software, which I don't know if they came up with something newer called CC Cleaner, but basically what it does is it lets you copy a hard drive over to another hard drive. You can either choose to copy files, or you can choose to copy the entire contents of the hard drive onto an external hard drive, for example. It's a good program for that, and I found it to be really useful, especially when I want to make a copy of the operating system on another drive so I can boot the system externally. On my Power Mac G5, we have something similar. Actually, that is the software I use on Power Mac G5, but I also have the same stuff from my Intel Mac also. So I can actually copy the hard drives to an external or a FireWire or even possibly a Thunderbolt drive if I had a Thunderbolt drive. Yeah, okay. He says it's a Windows program, and it's a registry cleaner. Well, that's one thing I have to admit, I haven't had to do much work with my Mac on, is actually cleaning the equivalent of the registry. Once it's set up and works, I usually leave it alone, because I have several Macs. I have one PowerPC Mac that's operating, and I have an Intel Mac that's operating. And in both cases, once I have my preferences set up, I usually leave them alone, because I don't need to usually tweak them. I did when I re-enabled the login screen, which I went into the user account section of system preferences to enable the login screen. And that way, when I'm done with my Intel Core 2 Duo Mac, I just log out, and then I created an account for Dory, so whenever she visits, she can just log in, which keeps my files safe, because now she can't access my user area. She can't access my browser, she can't access my webpage, my passwords, my anything. And on the Power Mac G5, we do got the same feature. I didn't set up the same way, though, but we do have the same features. Because remember, the Power Mac G5 is our video editing workstation, so it's a little more important to be able to access my video tools from any account on the system. So that's a very different situation. But for browsing the web, we just use the Intel Core 2 Duo Mac, which just does the live streaming. Because we don't do video editing and have to do it overlays. I have lost a bunch of data. Yeah, I lost many. I lost a whole hard drive worth of data. I had an 8 gigabyte hard drive that went up, that just totally quit working. Was it 8 gigabytes? Or was it more than that? I was like, yeah. I think I was like an 80 gigabyte hard drive. I'm sorry, guys. It was Western Digital. It was an 80 gig hard drive, and give me the click of death. I could hear click, 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 click. I knew I was on borrowed time. And most of the stuff on it was not really important, except for a few little things that I was keeping some of my extra software downloads on it. And then obviously I turned it on one day and it just wouldn't turn on. So I already knew that that drive was, for all intents and purposes, was toast. And it turned out the reason why that happened was part of it has to do with the pulse width modulation used for the stepper motor to regulate the speed. Sometimes that chip goes bad, and it's a Western Digital proprietary chip, so unfortunately when that chip goes bad, you have two choices. You can either, again with service mount tools, you can remove the old chip and maybe find one from another drive that maybe have other problems. Because that part of the drive it's just like, it's a relatively straightforward process. It just has to be from the same basic model drive. Because it is kind of generic, but not so generic that a chip from a whole other line of drives is going to fit it. But if you can find the same magic number, it's a lot easier to deal with than trying to replace like something like the ROM in the drive, which is specific to that drive. So, I mean, that's the reason why it always makes sense to have a extra copy. NSA and CIA. You know what the biggest problem is right now in with films you back up on DVDs is bit rot. Oh yeah, bit rot. I've seen that. What is bit rot? Well, basically, bit rot in this case it applies when in the CDs and the DVDs when the sublimation layer starts to get holes in it, like moth holes. But it's not because of physical damage done to the disc. It's just the disc starts to get holes. For example, in the case of most series, because the discs are several layers thick, and sometimes the bit rot will happen in one layer in the die layer. And so the drive can't read that data anymore. I've seen it with physical, both commercially produced and my own produced DVDs. I've seen it in CDs. I've seen this too with the bit rot, but I've also seen it with CDs where the actual foil on the disc starts to rot away. So when we see bit rot, when we're talking about even commercially made DVDs or CDs, yeah, it's real. It's not a joke. It's not a fantasy. So everybody who says, well, my CDs will last 100 plus years, I got CDs from the 1980s that are suffering from bit rot. So that means that those backups are always at the risk of being gone forever. Just like the Library of Alexandria. Yeah. I tried. I did. Oh, you didn't do it on this one. I didn't do it on... How do I enable that feature on this? Would it live? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either. We'll have to find out, shall we? So let's go to... I'm going to go to the web-based version to do that. So let's go to the web-based version. For the people on Discord, you might see the sound temporarily drop out. I will reconnect the server as fast as I can. Okay, fine. Okay, so now... Okay, so I go to my dashboard. Creator Studio. I get into the live stream tools. Alright, so video live stream events. Okay. Live now. I'm going to go to control room. You did it wrong. Did I? Yeah, you did it wrong. Figures. So let's see if I can get into live control room and see if I can figure out what it's doing here. Cards, info, and settings. Let's see, I think that'd be under advanced settings, wouldn't it? Because let's see, automatically block spam and messages. I'll turn that off and I'll hit save. So that should do it. Do you want to try turning off the thing about... What? Make video statistics available on the page. Enable... Okay. That should do it. That should do it. I don't know if it will, but I would think so, because that's the only settings I can change right now. Did you save it? Did I save it? Did you save it? Yes, I did save it. Okay. Let me just double check, just be safe. Oh, for God's sakes. So, let's see. Live control room. No, not live control room, Michelle. That's the wrong place. Oh. Okay. So, advanced settings. Just make sure Michelle saved it. Yes, I did. So I hit save again. You don't need to, it's already saved. Okay, so as far as I know, guys, this thing is online. Let's go back to the YouTube channel. Okay, that's the one we're now. That was the other one. Oh, for God's sakes. That's this one here. Come on, guys, stop with all the dislikes. You really don't even know why you're getting all the dislikes. That's North American Snooking didn't win. Well, that's a terrible reason to keep giving person dislikes, guys. Okay. So try posting links now. I don't know how that works, but I'll try. But he was asking me to turn on the option so I could actually display the chat. And I don't know if they work. You know, there's another thing you should check. What's that? You should check. Oh, I know what you're saying. No, in community settings. No, everybody can post links in community settings from. That's not a problem. Oh, okay. So that's not the problem. It's just that I don't know that when I turn off disable spam messages, if that's going to allow people to post links. I don't know, but I did do that, and it does may work. Okay. I will have to Google it later, because obviously I don't know why. Look it up later on. So we've been on the air now for a while now, and I don't even know if we're still on Discord. Let me check. Well, it shows my microphone. Shows microphone work. Yeah, but where's the rest of people? They're not here. So I'm going to close the Discord session because there's no one there. Alright, so live stream tomorrow. I'll see if I can try to get that thing debugged for you by tomorrow. And find out what the magic incantation is to make it so people can post live links in chat. I will do what I can, find that out for you guys. I don't know what the story is right now, but at least I can say I understand why you would ask that. Does anybody have any last minute questions before I end the session? Because it's, it looks like, I think maybe we might just be doing it in the studio after all. It might be really hot. Alright, so I'll see you guys tomorrow at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, and it was nice being able to talk about things that I think were a little more productive, and I enjoyed having a chance to speak with you guys, and we'll be discussing this stuff more tomorrow. Until that time, because of the way this phone works, I have to go ahead and go to the live screen here so I can buffer the video, because this is 8 grams, so I gotta buffer the video. So for now, I want to thank you for watching this, guys. I'll see you guys soon, okay? And no, I don't have any socks underwear online, but I'm gonna turn the phone to something else because of the buffer. Right? See you later. Bye-bye. Dollars, but they might be less because depending on how much money the state wants to pay. Just say that much.